Welcome to Professional Farmer 2014. Now, I've had this game for a long time, ever since it came out, and I've never played it. Well, that's not true. I should never say never. I started to play it a couple of times, but for some reason it didn't work very well. And then they put out a DLC, an expansion for it, and that kind of fixed a bunch of things, and it's a little more fun to play from what I understand. And but one of the problems that I had was whenever I started the career mode, the game would not work. I would get to the point where it told me to go plow a farm, go to plow a field, and I would start plowing, but it wasn't giving me any credit. I plowed the whole field, and it still said that I had plowed 0% of it. And I never could figure that out, so I quit playing. This was just a month or so ago. And but anyway, today I'm on my Frankenstein PC, and I decided to give it a try. So I loaded the game up, and I put in a test game, and I tested it, and it was working. So I thought, okay, well, let's record it. So let's take a look around, see what we can find out on this farm. It's going to be kind of weird because it's not Farming Simulator 2013, but let's give it a shot. Now the mouse seems to be awful sensitive. I may have to adjust that. Okay, so in the career mode, it looks like they just make you walk around and follow the little blue arrows. This is your garage, a place where you can keep your vehicles. Okay. Enter the tractor. Alright, so it's wanting us to go back to the tractor. I'm assuming this tutorial is made to teach you how to walk and talk and chew gum at the same time, which is never going to happen with me, but oh well. There are two different types of gearboxes, manual and CVT. CVT are available with one or two power settings. Okay. New task, move to the petrol station. Now, I chose the USA map when I made this game. We don't call it petrol. In the United States, we call it fuel or gasoline, but we don't call it petrol. It's a service station or a gas station. Now, I am playing with a Logitech Rumble Pad, which lets me drive the tractor. I still, if I'm out of the tractor and walking around, I still have to use the WASD keys. So it looks like, according to the menu up here, I can increase the speed by the F key, which changes gears for me. And I drive to the gas pump, or fuel pump. Now, it's important, petrol station is much cheaper to buy large amounts of fuel and refuel vehicles here rather than refuel each one in town. And I have a new task. I was just going to say it's important that when you get to a point in the tutorial to stop and wait until they respond. When that farmer responds, then you can move on. If you try to move on before they respond, then you've messed your game up. You can't continue on. So we're going to put it in reverse by hitting the Z key or the Z key. And back her up. And follow the little blue circle. Put her back in forward, and off I go. Now, according to the gauge over there on the left-hand side is my fuel gauge, and it shows that I'm almost full. And on the right must be the temperature gauge or the oil gauge. I'm assuming it's a temperature gauge. Okay, this is your cattle fold. And I'm assuming that's where we would raise our cattle. And we have another task. Now the physics in this game are pretty wild. That's the hen house. Okay, move to the silo. It's kind of weird having to shift gears like that, but kind of adds a little more real life stuff to it. The game looks pretty good. I've got it on high as it'll go. Okay, you store your harvested crops here in the silos. You can buy silos for all the grains and upgrade them, increasing their capacity. And we're off to the next task. And it looks like 6 gears as fast as I can go. Exit the tractor. Okay. And now let's take a closer look at machines. Most of them can be operated using the similar principles. So let's take a look. There's the plow, although we spell it P-L-O-W in the States. There's the cultivator. And the seeder. The fertilizer spreader. And a baler, I'm assuming. And the baler is our friend, it says. Alright, follow the lead. Now we're going to go back over here by the barn. It's a nice little farmyard here. I like this. And we also got a trailer. We don't got good grammar, but we got a trailer. Now go to your field. It ain't a gonna plow itself. New task. Enter the tractor. Enter the dragon. Makes me feel like Bruce Lee. Alright, in the tractor I go. Grab my rumble pad. Run like this. Now if I hit the C key, attach a plow. If I hit the C key, changes the camera angle. So I can go outside the tractor and you use your mouse to kind of look around. What do I look like anyway? Well, you know what? That guy almost looks like me. If you look at my YouTube page, that's a picture of me with a top hat on in one of those old time photo pictures. That guy kind of looks like me. Okay, so let's hook this plow up. I guess you kind of back up to it and you hit the letter Q and that will attach it. And we're hooked up. Now it wants us to move to the field. So now we have to move it. And the arrow's pointing this way. I like the sound of this tractor. It sounds pretty cool. Now at this point it was where I was having so much trouble before. And again, that was like maybe a month ago, a couple weeks ago, I'm not sure. I lose track of time when I'm having fun on the farm. Okay, new task, plow the field. Now see, that's what I mean. You have to kind of wait till it tells you what to do in this career mode. If you don't, then you kind of get into a little trouble. So I'm sure that we probably should not be in 6th gear, so let's gear down. I'm going to start at gear 2. I'm not quite sure which gear I'm supposed to be in. but that's what I'm going to try. Now, if you look at the map that's spinning around, that's showing which direction I'm driving and all that kind of stuff, and it's got the time of day and the weather and all that stuff in it, it's evidently early spring. But to the right, you'll see F1, F2, and F3. Now, with those keys, let's hit F1. That's the map that we're on, and F2 is the current field that we're about to work, but it says I'm not in the field yet, so that's very informative. I wouldn't have known that without hitting this key. Now F3's information, and this tells you that you have 20,000 US dollars. You don't have a zero loan. I own 4 fields. And it tells me the area that I own. It's 3.36, whatever HA is. And I have 1 cow, 5 ducks, and 5 hens. Okay, so the weather forecast is not available until I buy a meteo station. I'm assuming that's a weather station. So let's line this thing up a little bit here, and I'm gonna make one run until I figure out which way I'm actually supposed to have this plow turned, or whichever way. Maybe not right, maybe not the right way, but it may be the rude man way. We'll find out. So let's go to F2, and we're gonna drop the plow by hitting the R key. And let's start, and when it gets on the field, it should start giving us a progress report. And it says I've done 1%. Now see, the last time I played this game, it stayed at 0%, and I kept plowing, and I did everything just like I just did, and it still stayed at 0%. I had the whole field plowed, and it still would not change from 0%. So I couldn't continue the game. Now, I could have went out on free play, but I was kind of frustrated that the career mode wasn't working. And I kind of need a little instruction. I probably could figure it out because I've watched several YouTubers play the game, so I pretty much know how to play the game. Not professionally, but at least enough to get by. I actually didn't pay that much attention. I was watching the YouTube videos while I was playing Farming Simulator 2013, so I didn't really pay too much attention as to how they played the game, but oh well, there it is. I can't lie. Okay, so now let's take a look and see actually where I should have this, which direction I should have this plow going. Should I line my tractor up with this furrow here and drop it this way, which would put me, well, I'm not quite sure. Let's line this thing up. So if I put my wheel right in that end furrow there and drop this thing, maybe that's what I should do. Let's see what's going to happen. Alright, let me back the camera angle off so I can see what's going on. And I suppose that's as good a way of doing it as any. So I'll just keep my left hand tire, or wheels that is, right in that last furrow. And that should match up with what I'm plowing. Now if you notice, it's hard to keep a straight line. Which it would be in real life too, because the ground's not even. I mean, it's not flat ground. I mean, not perfectly flat like glass. So, you know, as you're driving, you're going to be kind of moving around. So that's a little bit more realistic than Farming Simulator. Although, and I don't mean to compare the games, and I don't really want to, but it just, that's what I'm familiar with, so. Hopefully after this first episode I'll quit comparing the games, because they are different games. This one so far is kind of cool. So let's lift this up, and with the T key, T is for 2. T for 2. Ah, I made a joke. Anyway, that rotates this thing. That rotates the plu. That's how they spell it in Europe, I guess. It's plu. That rotates the plow, and we can swing back around and kind of do the same thing we just did, I guess. Let's drop the plow and head out down the field. So we're at 23% now already. That's pretty good. It says we're a quarter of the way. Doesn't look like a quarter away, but maybe it is. Now I do know that when I was very first watching this, I watched a guy named Stucklegloss play this game, and he actually played the version that came out before this one a year or two ago. I didn't like it at all. I didn't even like watching the videos, and so this one plays a little bit better. But you know, I was watching him when this game first came out, the 2014 version, and it looked like you did not have to do 100% of the field. There comes a point where it says, okay, you've done enough. Now you got to remember, the career mode is actually a tutorial mode. That's what it's meant to be. So the question then comes, since it's just a tutorial, if the tutorial tells you that you have enough percentage to have completed the task, do you go ahead and finish off the field or not? And I can't remember what everybody else was doing, so I'm not sure. I might just, since it's a tutorial, I might just, if it says I'm done, I'm done. Because I'm a lazy farmer, you all know that. Now here's the thing about being lazy. This is a rude man's explanation of being lazy. There's different kinds of lazy. There's downright drop dead lazy, where you're just lazy and don't want to do anything. You just stay home and stay in your pajamas and never do anything, never leave the house, just lazy. Wouldn't work to save your soul. Then there's what I call inherently lazy. And I am inherently lazy. And what that means to me is, if I have to do something, like work, I go and do it, give it 100%. So if there's something that I have to do or I'm responsible for, I give it 100%. But if I don't have to do something, I probably won't. And that's the difference, is being inherently lazy and just plain lazy. So the secret to that is, you just don't sign up for anything that's going to make you responsible for something. You know, like playing on bowling leagues and things that is going to require you to be someplace every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Well, if 8 o'clock rolls around Tuesday night and I don't feel like doing nothing, I don't want to do it. And so I don't sign up for stuff like that. I become the designated driver or something, you know, I'll go and root for the other guys that are doing those things. That's just me. Life, it takes all kinds, you know. Well, so far so good. It doesn't look like I've missed anything. Now I could probably do this a little more quickly if I wasn't worried about a gap in my plowing. But, and again, I don't think that would really make any difference, because I only have to get a percentage to complete the task. So if I miss a little strip, you know, in these rows that I'm making, It isn't going to make any difference as long as I get a certain amount done. Now on this pass, I neglected to look on the lax pass to see what my percentage was. I'll take a look at this one and see. Oh, I'm halfway done, 51%. Yay for me. You like those little things floating in the air? That's kind of cool. I'm not quite sure what it is. It could be what we call in the States cattail, or the dandelion seed things kind of look like those. That, you know, when they turn and they blow in the air and spread their yellow loveliness everywhere that you don't want it to be. We have a noxious weed where I live that is called Scotch broom, and it's bright yellow when it blooms, and everybody thinks it's so pretty. It's more of a bush than it is a flower, and it is very pungent. I mean, it has quite an aroma, and not only that, if you have any allergies at all, it's very strong. And so, did I flip that? I think I did. I must have. It's very strong. So, and it grows on the side of the road. And there are some places in the area where I live that when it's blooming and you're in your car, and it doesn't matter whether the windows are up or down, this stuff is strong when it's blooming. You drive by and you start choking, you can't breathe. It's like, especially if you have allergies. Now, I don't have a lot of allergies. I have a few things that affect me, but I don't have any serious allergies. Although I think there's a theory about that too. I think as you get older, you start developing some kinds of allergies over time. But anyway, if you have any kind of allergies, this stuff is so strong that you cannot breathe. And if it goes, you know, for a couple of miles, you just start choking. It's terrible stuff. And it grows like, well, a weed. It's everywhere. You know? And the funny part is, I've been told that it's not indigenous to this part of the country. Well, that means somebody brought it in. Now, they may not have brought it in on purpose. You know, it could have been, they could have had seeds on their shoes or on their clothes or, you know, whatever. Or they could just be bad people and say, hey, we hate this Scotch broom, let's take it to Oregon. They should have some of that stuff. It's kind of funny because some people that are, you know, coming to Oregon are tourists and see this stuff. Oh, look at the pretty yellow flowers. Oh, yeah, right. Hope you don't have allergies. We're 72%. Now, I think I'm probably cheating. I should probably be doing this from this view. I know I watched, I can't remember who it was. I was watching somebody's video where they were doing this and they were trying to find a spot on their tractor that they could watch to make sure that they're plowing straight. And to me it looks like if I keep the black part of the hood, which I'm assuming is the headlight, on that last furrow there, that I will probably be okay. I don't know that for sure. We'll find out when we turn around and there's a great big gap in my row, but we'll find out soon. But see, now I can't see my plow. So I'll raise it. I'm assuming that it's being raised. And I'll turn it. And again, I'm assuming that it's turning. I guess I can look behind me. Okay, I guess it is. All right. It's a little easier to turn around than at some games I've played, but I'm just afraid my neck doesn't twist that far. Oh look, it only lets you go so far. So it knows my neck doesn't turn that far. Okay, I guess that proves I'm not possessed. Well, maybe I am, but okay, let's try this one. Let's lower the plu. The plu is lowered. Okay, here we go. I wonder if I can go any faster. And here's the other thing I don't know. If you look at the speedometer over there, and it says I'm doing about 6 kilometers per hour, and that I'm in gear 2A forward. What is 2A? Because I know there's a 2B and a 2C, and I don't know what that means. As I said, I might think I know everything about the game because I watched other people play it, but then again, I didn't really pay attention. So, if it was explained in those other videos, I never heard it. Or if I did heard it. If I did hear it, I ignored it. This tractor almost sounds like it's going to stop running, but then most of the tractors we had on the farm sounded just like that. What I love about this game is you can lower the implement, and notice when you're out there outside the field, it doesn't plu anything. It waits until you're actually on the field before it plows anything. So you can keep it lowered if you want to and just run around the farm. It doesn't affect the ground at all unless you're on a field that you own. That's kind of cool. If you're lazy like me, you don't want to keep pushing a button to raise the plu. Okay, I'll quit calling it a plu. Look! At 95% I can stop. So do I? I don't know. Should I? I think I'm gonna, just to see what happens. If it really makes a difference, the next time I will plow the whole thing. But right now I just want to get through the tutorial. Now, in playing career mode, that's a tutorial mode. And what it actually does, from my understanding, is that you play the game for a year's time. And so, like, let's go back to this. We're in early spring. So what you do is you play by telling this, this farmer's going to give you tasks to do. And those tasks are teaching you how to play the game. And the career mode goes for 1 year. I'm lost. Where did I come out of? Where did I come out of? Over there? Yeah, I think so. I guess I could speed it up a little bit. Anyway, so the career goes for 1 year, and in that time, you're being taught how to play the game. You could, if you want to, just jump into, free zone or free play or whatever they call it. I'm lost. Oh, there it is. Okay, don't tip this thing over. Come on. But that's what career mode is. It's just a tutorial. But since I've watched all those videos patiently, new task, detach the plu. Alright. Well, I'm going to cheat. Oh, look. It leaves marks in the ground. That's cool. Because a tractor would probably do that. I wonder what kind of oil they're using, because that smoke looks kind of blue to me. Alright, so it wants us to put the plow right back where we got it, which is probably a good thing, I guess. Did I go too far? Alright, what am I supposed to be doing here? Let's change direction. Go back. Okay, quit. I know, I'm in reverse. I know that. Am I supposed to turn it? Gear down, press gear, hold in, blah, 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 blah. Alright. Let's come back. Okay, so what was that? Something happened. Nothing happened. Man, it's noisy. Oh, I think I have to lower it. And then Q? Yes, that's it. Man, this thing's so literal. Now it's time to cultivate the plowed fields. Okay. Remember, to attach a machine, you have to detach the one you are previously using. Well, duh. Alright, we have a new task. That guy must be our taskmaster. Ha 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 ha. Okay, that's enough of that. Automatically comes up. Move to the field. Okay, my head got stuck in the cultivator. Okay, let's see. This way. Walk this way. Alright, so we're going back to the same field we just worked. And we're going to cultivate it. So, I guess I'm going to try and speed it up a little bit. I'm going to try, because I was in second gear before. I'm going to try third gear and see if that works. Okay, so what can we do with the cultivator? Okay, we can put the attachment down by R like we were doing before. And we can fold it. Oh, so is it folded? No, it's not folded. It's unfolded. Okay, so once it's being folded, you can't do anything. So let's unfold it. And then let's figure out what our row's going to look like. It looks like it extends a little bit further than the tires. So if I keep the tires on the field, that should do it, right? Okay, so I know we shouldn't be in sixth gear. I'm going to try third and see what happens. Now I'm hoping that plowing at 95% is the same as cultivating 95%, because if it's not going to give me credit for this, and I'll have to come back and plow a little bit more. Didn't think about that. Okay, so I'm just going to keep the tires on the plowed area, and let's see what it's doing. It's kind of changing the color a little bit, and it's kind of like smoothing it out. That's good. Okay. Now let's go to this view and see. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. this view and see, oh, it's keeping the 95% plowed and I'm 4% cultivated. You know I'm going to goof it up somehow. That's just the way it is. That's the rude man way. You think it's funny, but you don't have to go through life being a rude man. I have to laugh because I used to get online and do things, and I've always had, the rude man's always been my login and stuff like that. And people would talk to me for a while and they'd come and say, you don't seem to be all that rude. And I said, well, I'm not rude. What would make you think I was rude? Well, you're the rude man. I said, oh, well, my name is Rudy. And I used to work for a radio station and they called me the rude man. Now, I've told this story before, but just to make it clear, I wasn't a disc jockey because you can't be a disc jockey and have a voice like mine. I just don't have a very good radio voice. I sold radio advertising. But that being said, there were a few times where they'd get me kind of on the air. I would help out with advertising, making ads and things like that. And there were times where I would go to a local bakery in the morning and pick out whatever the daily special was, bring a box of that, whatever it was, back to the radio station and take it into the disc jockey's booth. And so they would yell out, oh, like kind of like Norm, you know, from Cheers. The rude man's here, and he's brought some goodies. And then we'd proceed to eat donuts on on air and make all kinds of noises like they were really good. But yeah, it was fun. I gained about 30 pounds, but oh well. But anyway, that's where the rude man comes from. It's just a play on my name. Okay, let's see. We're 25% after 2 passes. And I'm playing it too safe again, but that's okay. I got all day. I don't know what time it is, but let's see. Where's the clock? Oh, it's over here. Oh, it's 12:47. So I've been farming for a couple hours. Game time, that is. %34 cultivated. Uh-oh, stop it. Whoa! That was weird. Stuck my head right in the cultivator. So it looks like we're going to be okay by being in 3rd gear. I wouldn't think you'd go any faster than 3rd, but and be able to successfully complete the task. But I don't know. I mean, other people may have done it. I'm just not other people. Well, at least not today. Well, I don't know. So far, it seems to be kind of fun. It's a little more hands-on than Farming Simulator 2013. I don't know if it has to stay that way, because I'm pretty sure you can hire workers later on in the game. My first question is going to be, are the hired workers any smarter than the hired workers in Farming Simulator 2013? Because those guys are yo-yos. I have a lot of trouble with those guys. They're very literal. And they like to drink beer. Hopefully after they get off the farm. I got off a little crooked there, I think, but oh well. It'll all come out in the wash. Now, okay, here's something that's interesting. Watch the driver. Watch the driver. When I turn the wheel, he turns his head. That's cool. Look at that. That's very cool. %62%. 62% all well. There's a lot of tractors going by. The people don't have cars and trucks in this game. I think it'll be a little more economical to drive a car than to drive a tractor around. I guess we have to assume that they're going someplace where they need to have the tractor. Like maybe there's a piece of equipment in the field, or they're going to a store to haul a piece of equipment home. There's a truck. A mini truck. They have a real truck? I don't see a man's truck in this game. Give me a Ford or a Chevy 350. Well, I guess Chevy didn't have a 350, but Ford 350. %77% all's well. I'm a cultivating fool. Then it looks like we have to fertilize after that. And then it'll tell me the area sown by percent. So when we have to get a needle and thread and sow the field, I guess. I've always kind of wanted to be a seamstress. When I was young, my grandma taught me how to crochet, and I wasn't very good at it. I went to make a doily, and it ended up looking like a Mexican sombrero. I don't know what I did wrong. Never did learn to knit, though. Crocheting, that's the best I could do. And I don't remember how to do it. Now here's where the test is going to come. Is that 95% the same for cultivating? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Oh man, I'm going to have to come back and plow more. Now wait a minute. You're currently cultivating bare field. Well, I'm barefoot. Okay. Alright. I did it. I did it. I did it. I can drive back now. Okay. So let's raise this thing up. And we're going to fold it, which it wasn't folded before. So I'm doing my job better than the farmer told me to do it. Because evidently whoever used it before didn't fold it up. And that's the size of it. Oh, quit doing that. That scares me. Let's go inside the tractor there. Uh-oh. Speed it up. So if anybody knows what the difference between gear 6 and 6A or 6B or 6C, whatever that means, give me a holler. That's taken for granted anybody's going to watch this. Oh, well, I'm having fun. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. Okay, let's detach this guy. It's all about fun, man. I'll tell you what, I'm having a lot more fun playing it now that it works right than I did before. I started playing it several times and I never got any farther than plowing that field and just got frustrated and rage quit. Alright, let's lower this puppy and detach it. Now you need to buy seeds. You can use to sow your fields. In order to do that, you need to go to the store. Okay, so a grocery store? No, probably a seed store. New task, buy seeds in the store. And what I think I'm going to do, let's get out of this rig. Guess I should have taken it out of reverse, but I didn't. Oh well. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is call it an episode here. Don't want it to be too long. And when we come back, we'll grab some seeds and plant some crops. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I wish you all a good day.